So modding has been something that we've been doing in gaming since the inception of computing and us trying to make things a little more easier for us or a little bit more accessible. To say that it coincides with piracy isn't unfair, but there are some console makers that absolutely hate you modding their console and them thinking that they still own the property that you bought and gave the money for. It is Nintendo. And recently Nintendo unveiled a new user agreement which pretty much said that, yeah, if we want to, we can break your console if we suspect you of even modding any kind of the part of the Switch. And even if it's a false positive, we'll more than likely still break your console. Now here's word for word of what Nintendo's new agreement says when you agree with it from now on. Without limitation, you agree that you may not A. Publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create derivative works of any portion of Nintendo account services. Which, by the way, is kind of fair. The Nintendo services, like, I agree that you should be able to mod your own console, but I don't think you have the right to use the online. Like, that is their right to not let you on there. B. Bypass, modify, decrypt, defeat, tamper with, or otherwise circumvent any functions or protections of the Nintendo account services, including through the use of any hardware or software that would cause the Nintendo account service to operate other than in accordance with its documentation and intended use. C. Obtain, install, or use any unauthorized copies of Nintendo account services. Or D. Exploit the Nintendo account services in any manner other than the use them in accordance with the applicable documentation and intended use. In each case, without Nintendo's written consent or express authorization, or unless otherwise explicitly permitted by applicable law. You acknowledge that if you fail to comply with the foregoing restrictions, Nintendo may render the Nintendo account services and or the applicable Nintendo device permanently unusable in whole or in part. Look, Nintendo is pretty much saying the quiet part out loud, but the truth is that console makers have been able to do this for the longest time. It's just Nintendo always takes it to another level. Because to be honest, if it was up to Nintendo, ROMs and modifications on your Switch, anything of the sort would never be allowed. But in the United States, you're allowed to modify your phone, you're allowed to modify your console if you want to, and that is your right to do so. And if you want to ROM a game that you own, that is also your right to do. This is just another example of Nintendo using its billions in order to screw its own fan base. And the sad thing about it is that, unfortunately, this is going to get defended, and it's more than likely going to be something that Nintendo fanboys defend because of the fact that Nintendo makes good games, makes games that everybody loves. Their consoles are usually really easy to use, really fun, and I do blame them, but at the same time don't blame them, because where else are they going to play those Nintendo games? I think this comes with in part because of the fact that Nintendo has been seeing a lot of other competitors kind of use it to their advantage of being able to take an entire Switch, like basically emulate like the entire Switch on a Steam Deck and be able to play games that you've gotten on the internet or that you've gotten from your own games and put it on the Switch. And I'm pretty sure that pisses Nintendo off to no end, even though Nintendo has sold 100 million consoles and made billions in software and had the highest grossing franchise, or have a majority stake in the highest grossing franchise, which is Pokemon. And speaking of Pokemon, Palworld creators were also threatened by Nintendo by making them essentially change the way you catch monsters in the game. Unfortunately, it was too close to what patents Nintendo has in Japan, one of them which is catching any kind of monster with a ball or any kind of digitized kind of things. And because the lawsuit is ongoing, the Palworld creators had to kind of make it to where Now instead of summoning it with like kind of a sphere looking thing, now you summon it alongside you, and you know how in Pokemon you can ride Pokemon to fly everywhere. Well, you can do that in Palworld as well, but unfortunately you're not able to do that anymore in Palworld because Nintendo also has a ban for that as well. And this is why I say that pirating Nintendo at this point is kind of your civil duty. Like, if you're a Nintendo fan and you think that this behavior is okay, and you're kind of rewarding it by getting the Switch 2, like, I don't know what to say to you, because this is, unfortunately, this is starting to seem like the beginning of corporations telling us what we can and can't do with things that we bought with our own money. Essentially, everything that you're getting now is rented. The games that you get are rented. They're not guaranteed for you forever, but you get a license for them. That's for all your digital games, even on Steam, even on Nintendo, even on PlayStation, and Xbox. You are not guaranteed to have that license forever. And now with consoles, it seems like when you buy something from them, you don't really own it, you're just renting it, and if you mess with their property that is rented, they will break your console or cut access from you to be able to play games at all. This is why, in my opinion, if you want a portable gaming device, the best place to go is the Steam Deck. As of now, there's nothing that allows you to customize, use, and potentially emulate as many games as you want on their hardware. They don't care as long as you buy games on their Steam store. The final thoughts on this is like, when I buy something, like let's say I buy this hard drive is mine. No company should have the authority to be able to tell me what to do with property that I bought with my money in order to be able to use it like the way they want me to. Our stuff is our stuff. Stuff that we paid money for and we paid in full for or already done paying off is our property. That is something that they shouldn't be able to tamper with or to be able to damage your devices in any form or shape, besides the fact of not allowing you to be able to play online. Let me know what you think of Nintendo doing this. What do you think of Nintendo? Are you still going to buy the Switch 2? What do you think of these actions that Nintendo's done? And remember, you're pretty good.